Um, I'm considering whether I should fib or just come clean. Okay, I'll come clean. I missed hitting one of the buttons on the console, so I was live streaming to everywhere but Facebook. So I had to go back out and start all over, play the theme song, tell my guests to leave and come back. And when you hear us say live TV, we mean it. Uh, it's real. So anyway, better late than never, huh? And so welcome. Thank you guys for being so patient. I see you're coming in. Plus, you know what? I didn't know. Ooh, I love sleeping when there's thunder and lightning happening. I don't know about you. Brian doesn't particularly care for it, but I love it. I could sleep till the cows come home when it's like that. Oh, hold on, you guys. I have to do something really quickly. Just bear with me. You can still hear me while I'm talking. Hold on. I got to do something really quick, or my guest won't be able to get in. So I'm going to take care of that right now. There we go. Okay. So there, he can now come. So I wonder if you guys, could you still see me during all this? Let me know. Put it on the screen. Did I ever leave the screen? That's what I want to know. So let me tell him now that it's in your email. In email. See? You get to see all this. So anyway, when you hear us say that it's live, it means all of that. You have to really be able to be comfortable with being vulnerable to do this work. And trust me, I don't think I can get any more vulnerable than that. So anyway, I don't like the way my camera looks today either. What's going on with that? Let me see. Oh, I stopped the camera. I didn't want to stop it. I look kind of clown. Oh, it's probably because it's all fake lighting, because it's dark here in Chicagoland. It's thundering and lightning and raining, but I put petunias out over the weekend, so I'm really excited that they're getting some rain. So anyway, welcome to the show. We're obviously streaming live across the following platforms. Finally, Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and of course, E360 TV out in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. And hats off, top of the morning, to our sponsor this week, symposium.us, where Troy Roxon, the group over there, will help you discover all the opportunities that await once you download the app at Google Play or the App Store. You can then start turning your conversation into cash. That's right, convert it into currency by showing people what you know. Right now is a great time. People are sitting at home, even though things are being opened up slowly but surely. You can still grab some people's attention with whatever it is you're good at. You got a yoga class, teach it. You want to do vision boarding, grab it and teach it. You want to do story time for kids who are stuck at home, then do it. Okay. But anyway, get over and check it out. You can't do anything about an opportunity if you don't know about the opportunity. That's symposium.us, where you can turn your cell phone into a cha-ching payphone. So today, my guest is the reason I'm live streaming all over the world. And we're going to talk today about all the things that go into television, OTT. It's an acronym you may not be aware of, or it stands for over the top television. We're going to talk about what kind of person makes a great host or show content for OTT, over the top television, and what's the difference between a podcaster and a live streamer. So Aaron Hymas is in the house today, and he is the founder, the president of E360 TV and E360 TV Live. Oh, and is that your real hair? Is that, I'm always impressed with your Hollywood hair.
This is a wig, as you know.
It is not.
I peel off my head every day. I glue a new one on. So yes.
This is so freaky. Why is all the tech stuff happening today when you're here? Because now your mouth is moving and your words come just slightly after. I'm finding it quite exciting. It's weird. It's like watching one of those Japanese movies that they put English words on.
Well, it really could be my internet, just so you know. It'll probably
clear up,
but it could be my internet, just so you know.
So it'll clear up just
so either read my lips or close your eyes while you're watching the program, and it'll make it easier.
Well, you know what? As long as we can hear, that's good. Because you know what I'm saying? I mean, I love your little back set, your drop back there. And we're going to talk about all that stuff. I'm really glad you're here because, you know, I just know that when I look out over the airwaves and I scroll through, like, for instance, yesterday, man, I finally was able to sit and watch an entire, seriously, a full hour of a live stream show. And it was Elevate. What's the full name of her show?
Well, it's it's KL Network.
KL Network.
And in this series is she's doing it as
Beauty Behind the Brand.
Yes. So she's doing her live show as docu-series. So she's blocking them. And like this is a 12-part show of Beauty Behind the Brand. So
well, yeah, I'll say this. What I loved was being able to just sit and be entertained by somebody. And she made it easy. I didn't, I forgot. Oh, that's me saying hi to everybody. Hi, me. Good morning to all of you that are here. And today, pay attention. Get a notepad and a pen if you feel so inclined. But I really think there's someone listening today that has what it takes to get their message out, put something great out into the world. And we're going to talk about some of the methods in which to make that dream a reality today. So, Aaron, let's start. First of all, why don't you tell everybody how you got started in this business? I mean, I don't think you can go to school for, did you major in how to become a network television president? Or, no, I think you were in psychology or something, weren't you? What were you in?
Energy.
Energy. That's right. Last time you were here, I was like, who does that? I'm going to college for energy.
Well, I tried. I worked in mainstream world for years, banking for for many years.
That's 1/4 in the dirty mouth jar.
I'll put him in Uncle Sam here. Whoop, there we go. Yeah. And then I went back to school. And then I got done with school, and then I tried to go back to regular jobs, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I became what they call an entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
That thing has been thrown around. Everyone that's selling things out of the back of their car, whether it be Amway or whatever it may be, but anyways, I became an entrepreneur, and so that's where you create your own job,
right?
And this was many years ago, but I was at the end of one cycle of a company, and that one I think pretty much went belly up. But anyways, and I was looking for something new. And so I came across this. I had connections in New York and other places and stuff that were in the media side. And I got hooked, and we launched, and we've been kind of growing ever since. But it really was accidental, to be honest with you. I just kind of fell in love with the entire idea. And the whole idea, that the philosophy behind it was that there was a lot of amazing voices out there, but nothing was getting heard. It was all drowned out. I thought it would be really, really cool to make a platform that was for creators, to give them a bigger stage at low minimal costs.
Right. So how long have you been doing the television thing?
So E360 TV is now 3 years.
Okay.
But we were always video on demand. So it was always series that were completed, and we'd bring them on and that stuff. Now,
okay.
Since now we've onboarded the live.
Yes.
And that's now an extension of the same philosophy, but just a live version instead.
Mm-hmm. This is true. So, okay, let's start down the road of evolvement, if we can call it that, where a person who this is how it works. You see, just like in regular television, you turn on a lot of crap and you go, I mean, when we're looking for something to get into, like on Netflix or something, it will literally take Brian and I, and he's the one who dives in and does all the research. And we'll see all these great reviews. We laugh about it because all these great reviews go, ooh, it got 5 stars, or ooh, it was all these different sites say, oh yeah. And then you go in there, and when the first 5 minutes, we're like, oh my God, ew, no way. And we back out of it. And then, so we find that our greatest shows, the shows that we've loved the most, come from word of mouth. Mm-hmm. We ask people and they tell us. So how is it in the live stream world? Is it pretty much the same? Because a lot of people think that just because they can now go live means that they've got great content. What are some of the earmarks that let's say, of a good live stream show?
Well, there's a couple things. The first is the commitment, because with us, and I'll speak to this. I don't want to go as an overall on live.
Okay.
There are different types.
True.
There are, so in an overall, but for E360 TV, or for a network type where you're going to be on a live show, one is the commitment, because you have a time slot. You have to go live every time. We can do pre-recorded live, but we don't like to do that because you lose the part of the engagement, and you lose a little bit of the rawness.
How can it still be called live if it's pre-recorded?
Well, it's recorded as if it's live, and then we just program it that it goes live at a certain time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's for some people, but that's okay because sometimes people have to take vacations and stuff.
That's true.
Yeah. And then, but the one is the commitment. The second is being able to. The one thing is that being able to have a good message that actually adds value to other people's lives.
Because I think that's key right there.
So whether it makes them laugh, cry, or educate or entertain them, it's got to be something that when people watch, that they are not only engaged themselves, but they also have that feeling inside of that they want to share it with others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the critique I do with new hosts and stuff is we watch their first show within a very objective eye, and that's one of the big key marks there. Is would you want to share this with someone? And if it's no, then you kind of have to take a quick step back, and you have to reevaluate and make sure that it's the content is something that is good. You look distracted, Loren.
I forgot to turn my sponsor on.
Okay.
Because I was sitting here thinking about the next question, and it was about making money doing this, and then I looked, I was like, oops. Oh, I'm glad you gave me that feedback. I always wonder, do they know when I'm like somewhere else?
Right. I watch your show quite a bit. Sometimes I'm surprised you don't get up and go into the kitchen and just start making some more coffee.
I have done that before. Actually, I did on a show. And I was on my way until the headset cord ran out of space. And it jerked me back. And I was like, my God, because the person was talking. So I thought I was like on a regular Zoom call or something. I was shaking my head. Well, for the guy who walked around, I think it was you. Wasn't I on a call with you once on the phone and I was distracted and you asked me if I was distracted and I told you I was looking for my phone? No. But was that you? Oh, it wasn't you? Okay. No. But I was talking on the phone that I was looking for. For like an hour. It was horrible. I know, it scared me. I almost had myself committed. So anyway, let's talk about the person who's sitting at home right now going, my friend Carol, she loves to go live just on her phone for whatever arbitrary reason, and she's really funny or whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean that Carol would make a great show host, does it?
No. Well,
there's a difference between going live on your phone.
You have to
and
be able
streaming.
to storyboard and segment out what you're going to be speaking of. So there has to be a format to it. So it's just not you're not winging it. You have to. I mean, if it's just you doing a rant or something funny,
I don't know what is going on. I just took a drink of coffee and completely missed my mouth. You saw me down here. I don't know what it looked like to you all, but I swear I was wiping the coffee off my lap. Oh, what's going on? Okay, it's today's show has been retitled as of now. What not to do when attempting a live stream.
Well, this is part of live.
And you know what? Actually, that's a great topic.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's why I think people like it, is because it's real. It's not made up and stuff like that. I mean, but there's a time that you want to watch a formatted show. There's some times that you want to watch a live show.
This is true.
Just kind of how you strike the mood. But yeah, it's not for everyone. I mean, the big thing is be able to format a show. So, I mean, you got to be able to format a show. You got to be able to carry a conversation. You need to be committed to it and go on every day. But it's, again, you lower the bar on it because, to me, it's the true capitalism model where it's a true capitalism model where the ones that will survive. Mm-hmm. But if they don't, they don't. But if if you allow as many as possible, that you never want to, you never don't want to lose an opportunity. I mean, someone may come on and they may think they're gonna stink, but they may be amazing. So, but anyways,
I think too. Okay, so man, I got to be careful some of the questions I want to ask because I don't want people who are actually starting new shows to think I'm talking about them. But I think people need to know now more than ever because of what we're going through. This live stream highway or internet live stream bumper to bumper traffic. It's bumper to bumper, whether it's virtual game nights or Zoom with family. Events are becoming virtual because they have to. And then the live stream world is becoming more and more crowded. Yesterday, Elle and I were chatting about, was it Elle and I? Someone I was talking to said they went out to get some kind of my guest the other day, she needed to go out and get an Ethernet cord because I told her, about the live stream. And she said there was only one there. And it was like 100 feet, but she only needed a little one. But she had to buy it because it was all that was available. Right. And cameras and things. Brian's been trying to get an external camera because he does Zoom with telehealth, and they're sold out. And when you go online, they're like $400, $500. Right. So I say that's a prime indicator that everybody is discovering the joy and the freedom of live streaming.
Right. Yeah, and there'll probably be enough little cameras in circulation after this that no one really should buy a new one for the next 10 years because, there'll be
people selling them on eBay.
300 million that'll be sitting in closets. So just borrow one from here on out. The live, yes, another piece of the live, I think, actually, you just kind of spoke on it. Some people are just doing it as a temporary basis. They have to do this now because they can't meet in person.
True.
And for that, if they're doing meetings and stuff like that, well, you use something like Zoom or Google Meets or, something like that. That's what it's designed for. So a live show is more designed for people that this is surrounding a bit of their business. This is actually like an arm of trying to get their message out there that pertains to them growing their brand. And it's a great vehicle for that. So because it's kind of this is you could call this as a form of content marketing. So this is getting to know the personality and the person behind a brand. And that's why I'm on here, right? This is my content marketing right now.
Of course.
You know who Aaron is.
Exactly. And, one of the things that is really nice about live streaming and that sort of thing is because you get to do things like you just did, i.e., I'm just going to let that sit there for a moment. Okay.
So
now,
e360tv.com. You can also reach out to me at
yes,
I'm good with no more makeup, please. Thank
right.
You.
I like that. That's a great segue. Talk about that because people think, television. Come on now. Do you think a lot of people? I hear that echo. I know tea leaves. I've been talking about that all morning. T-Lise was like, I hear Loren echoing. Me too. But that's live TV. Sometimes you just got to push it away. Do you think that some people have a misconception of what live television is all about? I mean, some people, I think, are in it because it's a great hobby, but they don't really want to do all of the intricate work that goes into making it come off consistently. And I think that's what you really opened up with, as far as the number one thing we need to do when thinking of doing.
You're constantly, it's always notching to grow better. I mean, you have to, if you're gonna, if you start live streaming, one, you got to rip off the Band-Aid and you have to do it, because you have your fundamentals down, have good lighting, good sound.
I have a good sound
backdrop. Absolutely. See, it's not like a
I really like yours. It's colorful. Well, you know what I love about yours, and because I am one, and that's true. Let's talk about that. Even if you're just going live from home during this break called the pandemic, it really is interesting. We're about to play a game in one of our Rotary Zoom meetings, because when I was on with the president and my co-chair for this thing that we're doing, I was looking at their backdrops, that the world behind them, because it's a great peek inside people's lives right now. Oh, look at that big old bottle of gin back there in Mary's kitchen that she forgot to move out of the frame. Things like that. And but I asked them, I had them turn their cameras off at the end, and I said, okay, both of you have a wall hanging that is a single word right behind you. Alma, what was on Chris's wall, and Chris, what was on Alma's wall? Neither one of them had a clue.
Oh.
And then the funny part was, neither one of them could remember what was on their own wall.
Oh.
Right. So
wow.
I thought that was really interesting, but I'm the kind of person, I'm just naturally nosy. I'm going to look all back there. You get the hat.
Okay, so that's my ship I was on, because I was a Navy guy. Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, thank you for your service.
You just say sorry?
I'm prior Air Force. I'm obliged to do that.
God, you guys live such posh lives.
I know.
Air Force.
Thank you.
Apartments. That's my first Angels hat, California Angels. I got this when I was 6 years old.
Oh.
First game. That is my anniversary date if I actually get married. We're going on 10 years, but it took
congratulations.
This is my Uncle Sam box, because this is a representation of the government taking all of our money. Just joking. Actually, no, when it did, it reminded me of my grandpa. My grandfather had a picture of him dressed as Uncle Sam, and I just remember that. And my grandpa and I were really close, so when I saw that, I was immediately drawn to it. That's my dog, Parker. He passed away a couple months ago.
Oh, rest in peace, Parker.
These are just random trinkets. I just really like this skull. It's really, really cool. I love Mexican art.
I was going to say, did you get that in Mexico?
No, I got this at the antique store. And then the rest is just kind of filler stuff.
So how important is the backdrop for people that are going live stream? I
think it can, if it's not good, it can be a total distraction from the message. Like bad green screens. Ugh, I hate bad green screens.
Yeah.
Either do a green screen right, or don't go do a green screen.
And how does a person know how to do it on Zoom? I know you can click on it, but
you have to have proper lighting on it. It has to be nice and tight. It has to be no wrinkles in it. Then it has to have proper lighting on that.
So is that why sometimes you'll see like the ear get eaten?
Fuzzies. Fuzzes around them. Yeah.
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 Okay. So do your green screen research and training before you try that.
That's right.
Now, here's another thing I want to just mention about backdrops. I was watching a show the other day briefly. It was, just moving through, and I stopped on it, and it was the girl had a really nice backdrop behind her, but she had everything on one side, and the other side was just completely blank, and it just was kind of distracting to me because there was no balance.
Right.
I mean,
there's no feng shui to that.
No feng shui to that. So, I mean, it really. How do you suggest people? What can we do to make sure we've got something that's working behind us and not serving as a distraction.
Well,
Because your content is what you're in there for.
I would say just as you could, you know, grab a family member that's extremely honest and maybe a little cutthroat honest,
Oh, I
or a
got plenty of
friend
those.
or whomever, just to look at it. I'd also, I'd just, if it's for the person, I would just try to look at it from a very objective eye.
Yeah.
You know, would you like that? The other thing is, in like most business out there, is just copy someone else. So
Oh.
just go and find something that you like, and then reduplicate it with your branding on it.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's get into the thing most people really want to know about, because in these times, people and I promote this. I'm a champion for it right now. I get my pom poms out every chance I can, which is why I love symposium so much, because it really does give people another stream of income that is never a bad thing. And in this day and age, with the there's so much uncertainty going on and ahead of us, that I think people really need to start looking. You don't have to jump in right now, but you should start considering other ways to start bringing other streams of income into your world. And live streaming, believe it or not, can make you a little bit of money. And so, can you talk about some of the ways, or how long does it take, or does a person need to think that way about monetization before they even get in it, or is it something you can kind of grow into?
Well, I think you need to just keep it in mind that you should monetize it at some point,
Mhm.
because just as a from a business point of view, you should always make money on. If you are an entrepreneur, right, all your activities should make some sort of money. So,
True.
that's just for the responsibility to your family. You
Right.
can't just do things as complete hobbies. So you do need to keep that in mind, that it's not necessarily going to happen right away, but it is a good idea to keep that in mind, and then build towards that. Now, the thing is with live is that you got to remember that. So other things that are about live that are really important, especially if you're looking, let's say you're going to get a sponsor. Um, if you're going to get a sponsor, you have to, one, they have to be in love with your content. They have to love what your message is. They want to be able to watch your own show, right? And then that means that their audience, the people that they're looking for, is going to be the people watching that. The other thing is, what is that?
He's here. I told you to stay in your room. That's miniature Stretch Armstrong.
Okay, of course.
What?
So the thing is, you always want to keep that in mind. And then, God,
Right.
it's scary looking.
Ew,
Isn't
his
it?
tongue. Ew.
It's not his tongue. It's his beard.
Oh, that looks like it's coming out of his mouth.
It does. It's
That
it's
is
pretty.
really creepy. Okay, I'm putting straight. You don't
So
be
the thing is though too is that people got to think of it that with live it's real organic audiences.
Mhm.
There's no number fudgery going on. This is real people, and for brands that's really important because they do not want to be lied to.
Mhm.
That they're not getting to get into real people. The other thing is right now with sponsors is that all sporting events are not going. All these places they usually have activations. They call them activations where they put themselves in different positions. They're usually at fairs. They're usually at events.
Yeah.
Those are
With all those
gone.
banners and little
Right.
triangle flags everywhere, and
Yeah. Yeah. And
cozies and
yeah.
cups, and
Even
right.
when it comes back, there's still going to be a bunch of people that are not going to be going out in herds. So, especially people that are vulnerable, they shouldn't be, for their own
So
liveliness sake.
right.
So
Yeah. Go ahead.
how do you get a sponsor? You
That's
talk
what
to
Tea
them.
Leaf wants to know.
Yeah,
Huh?
you have to form a relationship with them.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. Is
That
you
is
have to
true.
have a relationship with them. So you have to at least just start a conversation with them. I would say, that a very soft introduction without a sales pitch probably a good way. Or if you are going to do a sales pitch, if it's a bigger company, you have to be quick, to the point, and they get inundated with opportunities. So or not with opportunities, but with solicitations for
Yeah.
sponsorships. So you got to be on your game for big ones. I like the idea of definitely going local.
Yeah.
Because that's the power of being on digital. Is you have Facebook and YouTube, and you have we have Roku and Amazon, all these and web. The thing is, then for your after marketing for your show, you can very much control where you put that message and who people. So if it's a localized brand, one second, frog.
George, you're starting to sound like Louise Jefferson.
So
I know.
no, this is important.
I'm sorry, I was channeling Isabel.
Sticking with
Stanford.
local brands, though, small companies, they are great people for sponsorships, because a lot of times they don't understand how well content marketing works. But it is can be very, very powerful on getting their brand in front of a lot of people on a repetitive basis.
Yes.
And as long as that brand matches the type of audience that should be watching that, it's a really good fit. And with like live, you don't have to go in. You're not talking thousands and thousands of dollars that you're asking for people. You're asking for smaller amounts.
Exactly. And let's talk about dollars. Let's talk about dollars from another direction now. Backing up a little bit. A lot of people really have no idea of how you get started. Now, I want to say this because, when I was shopping for where I might want to do what I'm doing right now in this very moment, before you came along with your wonderful opportunity, I was talking to another company, and I had no idea that what I possibly could have bitten off, which would have been especially now with COVID here and all that, something that I couldn't have gotten out of, because I would have had to, first of all, sign a contract for a certain amount of time. I think they had 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and a year. And here's the craziness. It was hundreds of dollars per episode. So I would have only been able to do once a week. And when they gave me the pricing sheet, it really would have been almost like once every 6 months, because I was like, wow. No, I'm serious. It was like $390 minimum per episode.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So talk about that. I mean, because a lot of people don't know. But see, this is the place where people go and then the thing is, you go in there, there's a million people. I don't know how they can afford it up there that have shows, but I never heard of any of them. And I went in, I was doing my research. So I went in and watched a couple, and I was like, so let's just put it this way. There are people who just want to do it so they can tell their friends. It's just like people who write books and they never sell the book, or they don't do anything with them. The books are in their basement, or but they always have a copy in the car so they can say, "Oh, look at my book." So, is there a difference between a person who is really vested and passionate about the content and people who just want some kind of fun hobby?
Plug something. I would say if you're going to just plug something, you're going to lose people really, really fast, because that is about as boring as it gets. The other thing is that it's something that you will absolutely not share with friends and family. If you see something that comes off as a solicitation, you can feel it. I mean, you're like,
this is true.
And you're not going to push it on to people.
This is true.
You have to be passionate about something that's surrounding. I mean, you're doing it to get out there. You're doing it for your brand, but don't make it about your brand. That's the background, know. So I got the little E360, back here.
Yes.
When I'm on calls or doing stuff like that, I'm just sitting there talking about E360 TV, talking about the passion, talking about, we want to get creators.
Sorry, I don't have no control over that. That's the.
I know your system well, sir. Anyways, so what was I saying?
I don't know. I
Be
got.
genuine. That's the
There you go.
bottom line. Be genuine, have fun, and do something that you would enjoy watching.
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
I'm answering the right question right
You
now.
are,
Am I? I
yeah,
can't remember.
and so you know what I think, and I want to know how you feel about this. But I think people automatically think that this whole COVID thing, and yeah, we're going to start easing our way back to whatever this new normal is going to be. But I really believe that there are some things that will never come back, and there are some things that we deal with now that will never completely leave. That there's like an overlap, a transition area where things will, that's what I think is the new normal. That line down the middle of the road. You know what I
Well,
mean?
okay. I mean, I'll answer your question. I got your point already.
Okay.
So what COVID did is it forced people to do what they already should have been doing. So if people were supposed to have a show or something like that, they put it off. They kicked the can down the road. They said, no, 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 I'm comfortable just meeting in person and being on a stage or doing this or doing that or whatever it may be. But those are all in-person things. And then that abruptly came to a stop. So then everyone was scrambling, trying to figure out that they should probably do something live. They should go video at minimum, right? And now everyone's been forced into that place where what they should have done started years ago. I mean, if they were going to have a show and stuff. So, uh, this is, I think we plan for the worst, hope for the best in regards to being having that normalcy. But I
Hmm.
think that the video portion live, whether for an individual or for events, it's always got to be on the right on the backup right away. Like
Hmm.
if you're planning anything in the future, you need to have on the ready that it becomes virtual.
So, Aaron, how do uh, people who are doing live streaming, when they're on a platform like E360 Live and you hear all the different places that it can be viewed, Roku, Android, Amazon, Fire, Apple TV, and that sort of thing. Now, when we're watching here on Facebook, we can kind of see what's going on. We can see the engagement. We can see the comments, which is the engagement. We can see the numbers go up and down. But when it's those other platforms, how do people who are doing this, how do they know how well or not they're doing? How do we
Well,
know that anybody is sitting there? And how do people know that you're on Roku? How do they know you're on Amazon Fire?
well, you need to plug it for one. So the creator themselves, they should be saying, you should get on to go and check me out on Roku at this time. And the reason why you do whatever send people to those platforms is because it's a different viewing experience. So right now, when I normally watch your show on in the normal everyday or whatever, I'm already at work. I'm watching on my laptop. So I'm watching over here. I'm distracted. I
Excuse
got
me?
two computers going. So I got the laptop and I got your show going, and then I'm also working on some other stuff and I'm watching the show. The difference is when I got it on Roku, you're sitting on your couch, right? So you're sitting back, you're watching, you're completely engaged. You're not doing comments, you're not doing those things.
Right.
So it's a different type of experience for the audience. Now, the creator's not going to feel that as much, but we get numbers on the daily of how well, each show is
If someone's
performing.
watching it via Roku.
Right, right. And we do monthly reports and all those things. And then also, like, if someone's the E360 TV, they just holler at me.
Right.
Just say,
So
how's it going?
so yesterday when I was watching, excuse me, Elle's show, at that exact moment, if I'd have gone to Roku, I could have watched her there on the big screen
Yeah, that's how I watched it. I watched it on Amazon Fire.
on
I watched your
Amazon
show.
Fire. So you just go in, you don't got to plug in the name of the show. You just go to how?
You go to E360 TV is an
Yeah.
app. You download the app.
Oh,
And then
okay.
on the very, very, very top, there's two live channels. So there's Live Central, that's events, and the other one is just E360 TV Live. And then you click on that live, and it's like a channel. It just opens up.
Yeah.
And then if there's a live show, it'll start playing. If there's not a live show,
There'll be nothing there.
there'll be nothing there.
Okay.
But now we're almost to the point where it's getting close to being about full.
Yeah.
So if you want to go live, put up that shameless plug hashtag.
Okay.
So if you want to go live, you better get on the horse. Giddy up.
So and let's talk about that, because right now it's easier for people to get in than ever before, but that door is about to slam shut because more and more I've seen because we have, I'll just tell everybody, we have a Facebook page that E360 put up, and it's called E360 Show Host. And so that's everyone who has a show, all the different, hosts.
Yeah.
And I remember when it was just Joshua Berglund and myself.
Yeah.
And
it's getting crowded in there.
and what's her name? The funny lady. What's her name?
Cindy Ashton.
Cindy. Yeah. It was the three of us. And then boom, boom, boom. It's like all of a sudden it was like, oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Just bumping into people everywhere. I was like, okay. So, but I'm grateful that it's getting crowded, because it's like, I'm always like, I'm watching them all going like, she's good. I don't want her to be better than me, or this.
Everyone's coming with, and the game is getting notched up.
It is.
We're getting better people. Not better people. That came out
better,
wrong.
but people with serious content.
Oh yeah. Like KL Jones that went yesterday. So she's all about the visual.
Yeah.
You spoke to her.
Yep. And Diane
had to talk her off the cliff because she's she is hard on herself.
She really is.
Yeah.
And for no reason, but that I get it.
Perfectionist.
Yes.
But she is all about that the visual aspects. And so,
real professional people. And
real
wait,
cool. It's really
that's
cool.
another thing I want to put out there for people. The great thing about it is it's one of the only places I've ever swam, if you will, where I don't have to be an Olympic swimmer. If I'm sitting on the side of the pool and I'm comfortable just flapping my legs or treading water, I still belong and I'm okay. I'm welcome in the pool. So what I mean by that is there are people on there, like when I was talking to Elle and all her experience and all her fancy equipment and stuff, I don't have any of that, but I didn't feel less than. And she was able to give me things that I know will make me better, and vice versa. And then Diane Forster, all those years in the business and still asking me because I've been doing this for, this is the 4th season, but she was in it, but in a different area, different genre. Mm-hmm. It's a really great way to feel a part of something greater than yourself, but not feel less than anybody that's in there with you, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. No, I get it. It's
really nice.
It's really kind of it's like one spot where you go where everyone's on the equal playing field. And
right.
So far the camaraderie has just been really, like, people really dig it. We've had such amazing feedback and stuff, and I'm nothing but grateful. 100%.
Same here. 100%. I'm just looking.
Nothing but grateful.
So, and I see you. Hi, Cecilia Faye Morris. You kind of look like you got something going on that we need to know about too. Welcome to the show. And for all of you who have come in since the top of the hour, first of all, I want to know, where the hell were you? I'm just kidding. First of all, I want to say welcome to the show. Today, we are here with the president of E360 Television. That's Aaron Hymas. And just trying to give some of you who may be on the fence an opportunity to ask questions. So shout out any question you have. We'll be happy to try to answer it. And this is your chance too right now. It's still not too late. We have a few minutes left, but if there's someone that girl, you should have been in TV. Well, she still can be, or he still can be. Share this broadcast out with them. And because again, a person can't do anything with an opportunity if they don't know anything about the opportunity. And that's why we're here today. So Aaron, as we come around the final lap here today, where do you see the future of live streaming? And 2-part question, please explain to the audience what the difference between podcasting and live streaming is. They are not the same thing.
Well, different platforms, different format. One's of course I don't think one is better than the other, but the thing is that you
different kind of person though.
What's that?
Different kind of host.
different kind of host, but it's but now you want to start with the video side because you could easily strip out your out of an MP4 or that video file. You can easily strip out your audio and then repurpose that for a podcast.
Where you can't do
Yeah.
that in the opposite
Well,
direction because
no,
you right, right,
unless it was like little cartoons or something like
right,
that.
and animated.
Yeah, that'd be
Hey,
kind of cool. Oh, that's a good idea.
okay, I heard it first. I'm just
Okay.
kidding. So go ahead.
Anyways, but some people just like to listen, and so they're at work or something like that. So that's where podcasting comes in. It's a good format for that, but it's different platforms completely. You're looking at like iTunes and all those different platforms. We're a video. This is all video side, live side. It's different platforms. It's different things. I don't know. It's really whatever formats fit. But I would say if someone is doing the podcasting, because saying I'm going to get into podcasting, I'll kind of reservedly be like,
That's what I do too.
it's not in 1989.
Hmm.
Kind of you need to fast forward if you're just jumping into this.
Well,
You need to go to live streaming because that's where it's at.
that's what I tell people. I said, what do you hear about video as opposed to just written content? Videos are watched or are opened when you send them to people at an alarming rate, much higher than just something you send that's a written thing. And who doesn't like to see what's going on?
Right,
Everybody does.
right,
Everybody does. And
right.
so, do you think that the day will ever come when there will be like a daytime Emmy or whatever for live streaming? Where it will be that big, where a person can become like an Ellen on a live stream show. I mean, when YouTube began, people never thought that you could go viral and get paid, big money
You know,
because you have so many subscribers and views.
well, I'd say that if we don't see it, I think we should just do it ourselves.
Have our own.
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh, this is not really a breathing apparatus. This is
Which
from
one?
when I had my surgery.
Oh.
I just keep it on here because it's fun sometimes to.
No, I think that's a good idea though because I feel like you remember Comedy Central back in the day,
I do.
and that's where like a lot of comedians started because no one was
Yes,
watching Comedy Central,
that's
and then
right.
it grew into what it did. I kind of feel like sometimes live is a little bit like that, where it's a lot of people, and then certain people will start being picked out, and they'll have more cinematic shows and stuff
Yes.
down the way, and for like mass distribution. I feel like that's a little bit what we're working with, but
Yes, yeah. And I just want to say
either way.
as we close things off, seriously, in this day and time, it's gonna probably, I don't want to say get worse before it gets better, but somewhere in the middle. Um in best case scenario, it means that we are going to have to become a little more adaptable. And when I say that, I mean anything that you can do to help you find your happy place, you want to do it. So if you feel like you've got a voice, we all have it, but if you have a message that you want the world to know, if you have something that you can contribute that adds value to the lives of people, and you can do that on a consistent basis, then live streaming very well could be for you. And don't just rule it out. You don't have to have what they used to call star quality. You just have to have quality,
Yeah.
so really think about it. And if you're interested in knowing or learning more about how you or someone could get started in the world of live streaming and start changing lives one day, one broadcast at a time, reach out to Aaron Himes of E360 TV. And Aaron, if they wanted to reach out to continue dialogue with you, how would they go about that?
Well, if they're through Facebook, you just go to our Facebook page and send us a quick message. If you are on web, you would just go to e360tv.com, go to the bottom, and you'll see a contact. Or, well, there's my name on the screen. My
Yep,
name, you could always message me also. I mean,
absolutely.
at some point in time, we'll be so big that you won't be able to contact me unless you have like 6 security guards.
Right. And
But until then-
or no Oprah.
What's that? Yeah.
And or no Oprah.
Yeah. Well, you're our next Oprah.
Oprah, can you please no, I want to be the next Wendy Williams. How you doing? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Girl. So anyway, it was a pleasure. I want to thank you for showing up today. I know you're out in Phoenix and it's like the crack of dawn. And have a little sunshine on me.
This is great.
Today.
This is a great thing. I know you got to go. But
No.
This is great, by the way. Within 15 minutes, I actually showered. I actually, brushed my teeth.
Yeah.
Did all the morning things where sometimes that can take 2 hours now in the morning, where it's just a very slow process.
Oh yeah, because we don't have to be
we don't
anywhere.
have to rush out the door. We're just literally walking out of the bed into the home
that
office.
is kind of nice. Every appointment, you're already there.
Right. You can be like literally 30
No,
seconds
seriously.
and just run across the room.
No traffic. You don't have to. I don't know how I'm gonna go back to that. Like having to go into Chicago for different things and leaving 2 hours before I need to just to avoid the traffic.
Right.
To get there on time. Just crazy stuff. I'm loving this. So, thank you so much. And